Hello, 12 hours of relief. 12 hours? Okay, not counting the yoga. And tipping. Not popping at the movies? Hashtag still not popping? Mucinex DM gives you 12 hours of relief from chest congestion in any type of cough day or night. It's not pauses. It always compensates. It's the tale as old as time. Like you have never seen before. Beauty and the Beast, a 30th celebration. Don't miss the must-see musical television event of the season. It's gonna be phenomenal. Kind of spectacular. A party for a lifetime. It's part live action, part animation. 100% Disney magic. The original or the platform, each one of them. Happy holidays. Mercedes-Benz is turning electric. Completely. Bringing major design and state-of-the-art technology with full electric SUV. The all-new, all-electric QE for Mercedes-Benz. You know you love to move, baby. Mercedes. And our little movers are made to work with you. With flexible load comes to the funky race. So we'll get to best any moves you like, AEW winter is coming as Vince McMahon wants to come back, and as Mandy Rose has, and seemingly, I'd hope, will continue to do so after she was released earlier today. Good for her, though, making more money on the side than she was under the company with her current and now release contract. But that's neither here nor there. But yes, AEW winter is coming this evening. They'll have a holiday bash next week and then a New Year's smash before 2023 rolls around. We're for the most part, already on the road to Revolution, following Full Gear last month as MJF became the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Jon Moxley, who's seemingly back in a feud with the Hangman, as he returned recently as well. Of course, MJF turning on William Regal. Regal no longer with the company, as he's heading back to the WWE. As well, but AEW winter is coming, about to kickstart here on TBS, so thanks for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Quinn Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. The thumbs up button. Share hashtag AEW, hashtag AEW Dynamite, hashtag winter is coming, and chat questions and comments, super chat, super stickers, super likes. Super thanks, always great, appreciate it as well, as it is in fact Wednesday. You know what that means. So AEW Dynamite with a Rampage taping later on. AEW winter is coming. They're in the Lone Star State in North Texas. We'll see what kicks off the show. I'm thinking it's going to be the fourth match of the Best of 7 Trios Tag Team Championship, as they cut to commentary with Excalibur, Taz, and Tony Schiavone, and they still have Light the Fuse, Break the Boom, AEW Dynamite for the opening video package, but they got the old school NBA theme song right for AEW now, so they're playing that loud as can be. Is this up next? Yes, the Death Triangle and the Elite are kicking off the show. AEW World Trios Championship Best of 7 Series, as we're going to head a little north of Texas to Kansas and carry on. But They haven't been crying since they returned, that's for sure. Of course, go back to All Out. The Elite defeated the Death Triangle to become the first ever AEW World Trios champions. As also that same night, CM Punk re-won the World Heavyweight Championship as well. But then you had the press conference afterwards with their post-media scrum. And, of course, everyone was suspended with what was said, and then the reported fight that took place in the locker room as well that the Elite also made fun of when they just returned, as well as, I mean, honestly, when this is all said and done, they're going to have 9 matches from September to January with these 2 trios tag teams as they sing along to Carry On My Wayward Son by the rock band Kansas, as there's Omega along with Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. Rick Knox going to be your official referee for this matchup. So the Elite, the Elite Too Sweet on BTE, and here comes the Bastard Pack and the Lucha Brothers Death Triangle. They lead 2-1 in this best of 7 series. Actually took a week off last week. They didn't have a match with these 2 last week. As today is December the 14th. They had the first, second, and third matches of this best of 7 right after Full Gear. So come full circle, as mentioned, with what I was saying, where I was going. The Elite, first ever AEW Trios Tag Team Champs. They were stripped of the titles. Of course, they had a tournament for the world title, but then they just had a championship match to crown new Trios champs shortly after All Out. They've held down the fort since. I mean, seemingly the Elite are going to, win these titles back. It's just due time. That's what we found out. They were having a best of 7 starting on the post Full Gear Dynamite the night before Thanksgiving. As the bell rings, match underway, and here we go. Don Callis going to be on commentary, I might add. As JR is on Rampage now full time. As they finally figured out the direction they want to go in for the announced teams. As he was doing a little bit of both there recently. Of course, might add AEW owns Ring of Honor as well. We'll see, where they go with that. Of course, they had a pay-per-view this past weekend and announced that yes, they will have a TV show. Yes, they'll continue pay-per-views, but the show's going to be on a service. So we'll see how that does moving forward. But a lot of Ring of Honor stuff has been on Dynamite, including the now former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion Chris Jericho. He'll be in action tonight on Dynamite, but this should be an opening banger, to say the least, with these two. Should go to close to bottom of the hour, I'd have to think. At least 20 after, as we're underway now. Elite seemingly in control right now, but just always, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. But they were suspended. Long story short, returned at Full Gear, as they did end up having a tournament then for the trios tag titles, but it wasn't right off the bat after after All Out. I mean, hell, they had one even beforehand, too. As, of course, they promote upcoming dates as well. Unfortunately, for myself, I'm not going to be going to any upcoming AEW shows anytime soon because they're not going to be in the area until at least springtime. But, of course, I've got my fair share of shows since they started. So be sure to check out those videos. But, and of course, be sure to check out all other videos live right here on the YouTube channel. And be sure to keep an eye out for more. Just be sure to subscribe. Notification bell next to as well. Stay up to date. But as they're fighting ringside now. Got some limping. Right ankle. Nick to Matt Jackson with the tag, talking to Omega as well. Hopefully he's okay. That would suck if he's hurt, especially coming right back from suspension. Omega tags in as well, but they're EVPs of the company as well. So even with the suspension, from an on-screen talent, they were still backstage for the most part. Figuring that out with what the company's doing moving forward. Zato Mato chant as well, I might add, from the crowd. There's a vertical superplex. But no, they returned at Full Gear. Surprisingly lost that night. And then it was announced later in the show that, hey, we're doing this best of 7 series. We're going to get us through the next, almost 2 months or so, basically. And yeah, the one time they haven't faced yet was last week. They've had 3 other matches. Death Triangle leads at 2-1. I think as they're really checking in on his ankle on the steps there, ringside. So hopefully he's okay. Normally, unless it's part of the story of the match here, Young Bucks fool around and do this or that, but it seems like he might actually be injured, which ain't a good thing for them. Like I said, especially coming back from injury, but you never know, so we'll see what happens. So now Death Triangle in control. There's a cover, 1, 2, and a kick out. But you'd think they'd win tonight, even up at 2-2. And then, you move forward the next couple weeks. Like I said, you got Holiday Bash, New Year's Smash. And then, I might add, of course, Dynamite going to be out west January the 4th, which is also the same day as Wrestle Kingdom for New Japan Pro Wrestling. They'll take a split-screen break. So a little commercial here. Get back to the action momentarily. That they're supposed to be on that show in some fashion. I know Omega's going to take on Ospreay. I don't know what the Bucks are going to be doing, if anything. I'm sure they'll make some sort of appearance. So if Omega's going to be over there, it goes back to late summer, right before All Out. That tournament they had, and then you move forward and you come full circle with everything, tie up loose ends, and singles match with those two, people are going to go ape shit about, and rightfully so. But so yeah, this match kicking off the night, and then we'll see where they go from here. You would, like I said, have to think they're going to end up winning tonight and the whole thing. And it should go 7, because that 7th match in the best of 7, take it from other sports that have also best of 7 series for baseball, basketball, and hockey with those respective games, especially in the playoffs. Should go to that LA show about 2 months from now, a month from now, mid-January. As I said, though, too, seemingly we're already on the road to Revolution. We just got a few roadblocks so to speak, in the way. Time to kill, but good content, good product on screen, and we'll see where they go with this story or that story, and so on and so forth. We'll just have to watch as we always do. But they had Full Gear, Thanksgiving show, which MJF wasn't on. Then he turned on Regal. Regal going back to the WWE as mentioned. After he had debuted at Revolution last year, which, wasn't that big of a surprise, but it was at the same time because, that's what a surprise is. You're not expecting it. And especially nowadays in the world of wrestling, for the most part, everything was getting leaked. And, if you know, you know. Sometimes it's better to, hide under a rock if you can, to an extent. With all that being said, it seems like we're going to come back from break here in a second. This match will continue with the Elite and the Death Triangle in a best of 7 AEW Trios Tag Team title matchup, and voila, there we go. So back to it. So winter is coming in North Texas, Garland, right outside of Dallas. And Nick Jackson actually now taken to the back. So unless he comes out, and they fake the injury, which didn't look like he was faking anything. That looked pretty serious. That he might have a twisted ankle, broken ankle, for all we know, let alone some ligament damage. Who knows? I'm no doctor. So, quick roll up, kick out. They promote the video game Fight Forever that should be coming out sometime soon. They still say coming soon to your favorite console, and you can pre-order. But it's been a while. Here comes Omega with the tag. But it'd be interesting to see if he's going to be out then, if they move forward with the Elite winning, let alone, well, just on this match, but overall, because that's, seemingly the plan, it feels like, as mentioned once again. But then also, is going to be 2-on-3 the rest of the way? Are they going to find a tag partner of some sorts? What? We'll have to find out and see. To wait and see what they officially end up doing. They could, no doubt about it, keep us on our edge of our seat in that regard, mystery partner of some sorts. They continue to promote what's to come. We'll get into all that in a minute. I believe they just added the one singles match there, and then another segment with the tag team champs and the Acclaimed as well, and then everything else, from what I'm seeing coming across the screen in the bottom left graphic, has already been announced. So we'll get into a quick preview of that and see how the night goes. On paper, it should be a pretty good show. Crowd chanting for Kenny Omega, as he'll say good night, but gets kicked in the back. And then sends both the Lucha Brothers over the top rope. They land on each other, and then Omega... Where's Pac at? He has to be on the other side. He's probably going to drag him underneath the bottom rope. Yep, there he is. Exactly, wearing his Batman mask. So I'm like, I thought he... Oh, shit. Or nice cutter over the top rope. Thought he was on that right side of the shot, and then he just disappeared because they worked the Lucha Brothers to the other side and ringside, and so now they're back in the ring. Kenny Omega and the bastard Pac. They had some history. There's a suplex, but Pac landed on his feet. Brandon Cutler, of course, filming for BTE ringside. But hot tags. Maybe a go home here in a couple minutes. AEW winner is coming. Opening contest. The fourth match of the Trios Tag Team title bout. then, oh, motherfucker. Maybe both Young Bucks are going to be out with injuries. I mean, shit, there's a tombstone right to the ring apron, hitting the top of his head. Hopefully he's okay. And then the Lucha Brothers are going to try to... Alright, they do that. And then... Okay, that too. And then here comes a splash. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2.5. So the Elite, they survive for the time being. And then another tag. Here comes Pac. And here comes his... Omega's going to move. He has his arms straight up in the air. Yeah. Pac's moon. Oh shit, here comes Micah Nakazawa with... Yeah, they obviously sold that ankle injury, foot injury damn good. Omega gonna tag in. As Matt Jackson just got put on his head a second ago, but Nick returns from injury, and nice couple clotheslines there. And then a cutter in the middle of the ring of his own. And then Warrior-esque with the ropes. Here comes a super kick. Yep, oh. Caught him. And now Lucha Brothers, what is that? Oh, that's that spike. That's right. And Rick Knox aiding to the rest of the Elite. Didn't see it. And now, of course, the foot injury, that's how they sold it. And now they got a double submission in. And they tap out, so Death Triangle is a 3-1 lead. You'd still think this is going 7, though. They'll win 3 straight. And then they'll make it a big deal. Oh, the Elite came back from down 3-1 and won the Trios titles. But then that also makes Death Triangle look bad, you know. But if they're doing the title change in due time, I mean, and this is how you're doing it, I mean, what else are you going to do? You know, I mean, because remember, the Elite were the original, going back to All Out in September, the first ever AEW Trios tag champs. But then suspension, Death Triangle has them, still have them, and they're up 3-1 now in this feud, in this ongoing series that, I mean, if they get one more win, it's over. But the Elite are going to find a way to win 3 straight, mark my words. And they'll be the new AEW Trios Tag Team Champions once again come a month from now. But in the meantime, Omega's on the mic. So we'll see what the cleaners got to say. It's not for you guys. What's he gonna say? 3-1's pretty bad. No DQ. The hammer is going to be legal. The spike. So match 5. It will be an all weapons legal match, so no disqualification. They're sick of playing by their rules. And now there's no rules. Yeah, no DQ, says Kenny Omega. Match 5 in this best of 7 series will be a no disqualification match. And it'll be next Wednesday. And then they'll have another one the following Wednesday. And then because of Wrestle Kingdom, match 7 will be a month from now in LA on January the 11th. They'll show off that graphic here in a minute. But goodbye and good night, says Omega. Bang. Hopefully, Young Bucks are all right. What's going to be next? Probably video package. Action MJF interview backstage with Alex Marvez as he has the triple B around his waist. Telling Ricky Starks, hey, congrats, man, you finally did it. But it's a winner-take-all championship and Dynamite Diamond match tonight, and MJF should win to retain his title and then also keep his Dynamite Diamond ring that he's won a few straight years now. Actually, the only winner up until Starks won it this year. So 3 or 4, make it 4 or 4 with the win tonight to cancel that out, basically. So MJF says, whoops. One of the best heels in the game. And yeah, he's right. It was only a matter of time he was going to win the title. And now slow and steady, since he's won the title and, who they're having him face. And it obviously is Ricky Starks tonight. But moving forward still, it seems like with MJF in the firm, and then Ethan Page just re-signed with the company, I honestly think Ethan Page is going to be next in line after Starks. But then also remember, you go back to MJF and Wardlow earlier this year. And then, of course, you get back into the MJF Punk stuff, and then that, goes haywire with what happened. Wardlow, of course, dropped the TNT title to Samoa Joe. I still think they're going to somehow combine the TV titles, but maybe not, though, either, because Ring of Honor's under AEW. Now, officially going to have their own show. We know that for sure. But, Wardlow right now really doesn't have a hell of a lot going on for him. He does, but he doesn't. So MJF continues to got this promo backstage on this interview, but yeah, it feels like come Revolution, come Double or Nothing, MJF Wardlow for the AEW World title. So he is, and he's going to continue to be the AEW World Champion. Everybody hates him because they want to be him. And then, surprisingly, he hasn't said anything about the year 2024 yet. But see, Ricky Starks is alright. He's better than Sammy Guevara, I'll tell you that much. But that's my opinion, though. Yours in the comments below. And thank you once again for tuning in and listening. But he still hasn't been able, until now, if you think about it, hit that point in time, that stride, if you will, as MJF's going to make sure Ricky Starks is dust. So eat my rubber as winter is coming. for everyone here in the United States. A storm from coast to coast this week, so folks doing well and staying safe. Whether that be rain, snow, sleet, hail, freezing rain, tornadoes, blizzard. Surprised there ain't another hurricane, but hurricane season's over. But I'll digress. I'm no weatherman either. So, yeah, AEW winter is coming. Now about a half hour or so in. Trios tag team title match to kick off the show, which was good. They ran a few injury storylines there, and then of course with the weapon of the hammer that the Death Triangle have been using recently, ended up picking up another win because of that. And then Omega on the mic at post match, down 3-1 now, are the Elite, so too sweet. But match 5 will be a no disqualification match, which is next week on the 21st of December. And then New Year's Smash 2 weeks from now. I'll also have live watch along reactions I've routine with that, so be sure you're back in. They'll have a match then as well. And then the next 2 weeks into 2023, the 4th and the 11th of January, will be Wrestle Kingdom, and then their second ever LA show from June the 1st this past year, when MJF, of course, called Tony Khan a fucking mark. And then seemingly Punk, was injured that week as well until he returned late in the summer, and then, haven't seen him since, all out. But if we ever will again, for that matter, not really wrestling, who the hell knows. But meantime, commercial break, back to the action momentarily. But no, they'll have the 7th and final match of this Trios tournament, best of 7, with the Elite and the Death Triangle. 3-1 advantage for the champs on January the 11th in SoCal. So, like I said, you still think the Elite are going to win, and they'll make a big deal out of it. Them coming from behind, down 3-1, and okay, they have the old school NBA music now as well. So playoff time. They started the music tonight, and of course, with what they have on the card, like I said, I thought, no doubt about it, that'd be the show to kick off the show, or the match to kick off the show, which it was. But next, we're going to hear from the Acclaimed. So, scissor me, daddy ass. See what Max Caster and then Anthony Bowens have to say here. But we're going to listen. And yeah, yo. Brittany Griner reference. Elon Musk as well. Didn't catch the third and final reference because they were getting beat up from behind during their entrance by the Giant, along with Double J, Jeff Jarrett and his red and black guitar. There's Jay Lethal as well, throwing Bowens over the table in the timekeeper's area. So I guess we're not going to hear from the Acclaimed. So the Acclaimed, but then an attack. Sanjay Dutt and his pencil, along with Jay Lethal, hold down Max Caster for Jeff Jarrett to smash him over the head with his guitar. And now he's going to get on the mic. And of course, Jarrett's in the company now too. For the most part, of course, on screen, as his character he was with the theme song he had in TNA Impact. a fuck you chant from the crowd. But he's also in charge of running live events. So AEW's in Texas tonight. They'll be in Texas again next week. He just called him a little bitch. And then a slap nut, and then cue the music. Thank you. But, I'll talk about somebody who's been around the block a time or two. As Billy Gunn in his Yellowstone hat, along with the Acclaim, get beat up on Dynamite. So this was an add-in segment. They added in the Acclaim. We're going to hear from them. Other than the entrance, though, we didn't get to hear from them because they get attacked. But, it seems like Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett are coming for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Which is pretty piss poor, to be honest with you, if that's the case. As they're going to give us a recap of Final Battle this past weekend with AEW's Ring of Honor, if you will. And then, Jericho, as he was a Ring of Honor champion, lost it right back to Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli. So, we going to hear from Jericho first off, as he's in action tonight, or Cesaro, Claudio? I'll actually go backstage, Shivani, with an interview with Jericho 2.0, along with Daniel Garcia, who also lost his Ring of Honor Pure title to Wheeler Yuta, and then, of course, Swagger, Jake Hager, in his purple hat. And you can get his figure on sale right now, I might add. But Jericho says he's still the Ocho. Even with the loss, he's going to be in action tonight. Just don't know the opponent. To be determined. Yeah, Daniel Garcia lost a Pure title. They could have Garcia come out. They could finally roll with him turning on Jericho. And then have them feud. And have Jericho put him over long term. I mean, this is no long time coming, but good couple months at least. And then, they get to this point now. They did have the titles. Both of them did. For Ring of Honor World Champ and Ring of Honor Pure Champ. But now both lost them, so... Sammy Guevara saying he's going to kick John Moxley's ass on Rampage. And then Tay, and Ruby one-on-one tonight on Dynamite. Alright, so we'll see where they go from here. But what do we got next? Oh, the Embassy. Are they going to be in the six-man tag with the House of Black? Or no, that's right, shit. They added in, because also the House of Black have a six-man tag match. But their opponents also still to be determined as well. I forgot, I ran the graphic. This is going to be also another added. Brian Cage, and we're about to serenade Luke Perry's sperm and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Of course, one half of Jurassic Express will be one-on-one coming up next on Dynamite. So, here comes Jungle Boy, or Jack Perry, if you will. So, I would have to think he's going to win this for the hell of it. Crowd favorite. They finally just finished up him and Luchasaurus feuding. That seemingly went on way too damn long, but he's still that David in David versus Goliath. I mean, him and Christian went at it. They continue the Luchasaurus shit, and now he's one-on-one with Brian Cage tonight. And Brian Cage, of course, under AEW, first off, was part of Team Taz, the FTW champ. Even though they didn't do a damn thing with him, he was still the FTW champion. Hook is the current champ. Of course, crowd favorite. Really don't do a hell of a lot with him either, but a little bit different when, Hook is Taz's son and the title is his father's, for God's sakes. And, he's really only on Rampage for a couple minutes. They try to get as much time, here, and here. Now they have Ring of Honor now. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But Brian Cage, after he lost the title, as he's a champ right now in ROH, he's part of the Trios champs there. He had disappeared. And it's like, is he even still with the company or what? But no, he's under their Ring of Honor umbrella. And, part of the MC. So, Jungle Boy and the Wolverine on steroids. Got Luke Perry and Hugh Jackman one-on-one on Dynamite. There's a vertical suplex off the rope. Aubrey Edwards, your official referee, with her hair actually pulled up. Not even in a ponytail, pulled the whole way up tonight in a bun. Looks like what's her name off of 1 Million. Alright, he's doing curls. And then throws down Jungle Boy. No, but with Jungle Boy, as I was saying, finally wrap up with what they were doing with him with Luchasaurus and splitting Jurassic Express. Take a split screen commercial here. But they went, of course, because JR called him every name in the book that he possibly could have. From Jungle Boy to Jungle Boy Jack to Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Surprised never called him Tarzan, but now it's okay, still Jungle Boy, but then they're calling him just Jack Perry, but now it's back to Jungle Boy, so it's like long term, what is it? Of course it's still Jungle Boy, but get my point. Like hopefully you do, just small, little things like that. Just, of course, small things always add up. Long run, potentially make the difference as well. Because last I checked, 1 + 1 is 2, and 2 + 2 is 4. So, this is an added match, and then still to come on the show this evening. Maybe we'll get Bobby Lashley to be Chris Jericho's opponent, as he was so-called, in quotes, fired, storyline-wise, from Monday Night Raw and the WWE on Raw Monday night at the end of the show. He's either right now taking time off, they're going to move him to SmackDown, maybe hell even down to NXT for that matter, which I highly doubt. But he'll be back soon. But yeah, just funny, Pierce called him a motherfucker, literally live on air, and then fired his ass, and that's how the show ended. As honestly didn't miss much after I had signed off Monday night, as I only had about an hour to go anyway. As we watched up until halftime of Monday Night Football, and it was about almost 10 Monday night, so Raw had about another hour or so left. So really just that we missed with Owens coming out, stunning everybody, but it wasn't in Elias's corner after that promo they had backstage, and then the Lashley segment after Rollins defeated him, and we'll get a United States Championship match against Austin Theory. And in due time, you'd think Cody Rhodes is going to be coming back sometime soon, and because I still think come Mania it'll be another matchup with Rhodes and Rollins. but we'll see. But back from break. Meantime, talk about AEW. Of course, Cody was in the company this time last year. Left late January, early February. Debuted, or returned at WrestleMania last April. Of course, his debut of the WWE years ago, and then everything worked out. You know, he was released, worked the Indies, went to Japan, was a founding member of AEW, and after a few years in the company, returned. And then, of course, he's been out of action with a pec injury since June from that Hell in a Cell matchup with Rollins that he had tore his pec working out that very weekend. But, yeah, jokingly, you know, maybe Lashley would be Jericho's opponent tonight. Doubtful, though, because that storyline in quotes fired. But we're back to action here. This is an add-in match, as the Acclaim segment was also an add-in following the opening 6-man tag with Death Triangle defeating the Elite, now up 3-1 in the best of 7 series for the AEW World Trios titles. But still to come, following that add-in with the Acclaim, we're supposed to hear from them. Of course, they got beat up by Double J and Jay Lethal. And then we get this matchup as well with Jungle Boy, who's honoring his father, and Luke Perry, along with Brian Cage, who's honoring the person he stole his look from in Hugh Jackman, otherwise known as Wolverine. Quick roll-up, kick out at 2, and Aubrey Edwards, once again your official Zebra, as the Embassy's leader is ringside with his red hat. Holy shit. For Jungle Boy to do that to Cage, you know, with the size difference, I mean, that's pretty impressive right there. And now, of course, a distraction. Cage is tapping out, but Aubrey Edwards not paying any attention. Alright, match will continue. So, cheap win here for Brian Cage, it looks like. Got to pick him up on his shoulders, but then Jungle Boy reverses. Clothesline misses, and then a clothesline connects ringside, but then a quick roll from behind. 1, 2, 3, and then Jungle Boy picks up the win. So Jungle Boy defeats Brian Cage on Dynamite, but still to come as well, as we also had the Chris Jericho interview backstage, along with MJF's interview, I might add too. So they're getting by. You know, like I said, card's all right. Should be still a good show, but Ruby Soho and Tay Conte, Tay Mello, one-on-one. Now we got Jungle Boy on the mic, as Omega cut on the mic and cut a promo after their loss to kick off the show as well, I might add. Match 5, you know, no DQ next week for the Trios titles. Big Bill, fucking Big Cass, William Morrissey. They changed his name and he's now going by Big Bill. Here comes Stokely of the Firm. So, yeah, Jungle Boy telling Big Bill to get his big ass out in the ring. Stokely just called Jungle Boy a hoe. And then Moriarty runs down to attack. There's Big Bill, like, is his little brother Little Bill? Like, what the fuck? I guess that would make Stokely Little Bill. Big Bill, Little Bill, right? Jesus Christ. So he's going to see two things, they said. And then the attack happens. The boot, and then the back of the hand. So, yeah. Big Cass is Big Bill, which makes Stokely Little Bill. So, pop some pills while you're at it, Cosby. But, I mean, come on, man. You can't write this shit. Big Bill. They couldn't have come up with something else for Big Cass. I mean, I get the William Morrissey name wasn't working, but Big Bill. As here comes Hook. Hook's on Dynamite. So he's coming to the aid of Jungle Boy. So what are we going to get, a tag match? Jungle Boy and Hook. Maybe Danhausen under the ring, but he's, with best friends. And sort of, right there in the middle can be the character that he is, but then on a switch can go heel on your ass. Alright. Are they gonna tease Hook and Jungle Boy feuding? He helps him up, but long story short, they couldn't have come up with anything better for Big Cass than Big Bill. Like Big Bill and Little Bill, Cass and Stokely. Now we're going to get a Blackpool Combat Club segment with an interview or a promo backstage from the cases. Of course, Regal ain't there anymore. Brian Danielson, seemingly going to go after MJF as well for the world title in due time. Moxley's hung up with Hangman, and then Cesaro, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta just won back the Ring of Honor World and Ring of Honor Pure Champs, I might add, championships. So 2023, everybody's on notice. Blackpool Combat Club's coming for you. You think you're good, we know we're better. You gotta fight. Then come get some. Of course, Rampage will be taped after Dynamite tonight. Alright. So the Wild Thing. Gonna beat up Sammy Guevara on Rampage, and then also tell his Hangman, hey, you know where to find me. So then bring your Dark Order buddies if you want to. Of course, 10 had turned on them a few weeks back. They really haven't done anything with any that, though, since. Up next is the House of Black. Of course, Aleister Malachi, along with Buddy and Brody King. Not the late, great, exalted one. Almost been 2 years, hard to believe. But they just returned. Of course, they had a match at All Out as well, and then took some time off and didn't know what the hell was going to, happen. If they were going to, stay with the company, leave, go elsewhere, what? But now they're all back officially, and I mean, they ran vignettes there for a couple weeks, and then they finally returned in Chicago right before Thanksgiving a couple weeks ago. And then they'll be in action tonight, so that'll be seemingly the 9 o'clock hour. here, a couple minutes. Start second hour of the show. Still don't know the opponent though, but there'll be an action. So yeah, with everything that's happened already, which it's been a pretty good show to this point. I mean, honestly, pretty split now at this point too, with action in the ring and then some stuff backstage with interviews and then promos. We only have one woman segment, singles match with Ruby and Tay as mentioned, so we'll see if they do anything with an interview backstage or promote something with a vignette of some sorts in that regard there or not. Of course, they'll preview Rampage probably right before the main event as they always do, but yeah, basically other than the main event, still 3 more matches to come. Those being Ruby and Tay, the next match with the House of Black versus an unknown opponent, and then Jericho also in action against Question Mark. So, main event of the evening though is in fact MJF and Ricky Starks, winner take all for both the AEW World Heavyweight Championship and the AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring. That, as mentioned once again, Starks won last week, was the first AEW talent to win that other than MJF, because MJF's won it 3 of the 4 years they've had it. And then you tie it in with this, with a championship match, because if you win the Dynamite Diamond Ring, you get a championship opportunity later on, so it equals out. Of course, because MJF's the world champ now, having won that at Full Gear against Moxley, and then move forward and, equals out. So, a couple more Ring of Honor segments. Swerve and Our Glory, sort of broke up. At least they teased it with the accidental contact. They'll have Swerve and Keith Lee go one-on-one here in due time, it looks like. Whether that's going to be an AEW or on Ring of Honor, who knows. Alright, they'll have face-to-face next week. Yeah, because they're in Texas tonight, as they were last week, and also next week. And then they head to Denver before Seattle, LA, and then they'll stay out west. Fresno. They do come back to the Bluegrass State as the House of Black are about to make their entrance. We'll probably have a beach break somewhere in there, I might add. Late January, early February as it's been, and then get the Revolution a month from then, which will be in San Fran. So, yeah, from Kentucky then they'll head to Dayton, Ohio, I believe, and then back to the Southwest. It's a pretty sick entrance with the House of Black. They add the red light to it now, rather than just pitch black darkness. And then they get the spotlight flickering. So yeah, the House of Black in action. Malachi, Buddy, and Brody, and then Julia Hart filming for BTE. As the lights go out, they should be in their spots in the ring and up on the corners here in a second. Just the big question is, who the hell is their opponent? New mask, it looks like, for Malachi, I might add, too. But who's it going to be? I mean, of any surprise, I think we're going to get a bigger surprise with Jericho's opponent than we are with these three. But never say never, don't know. We'll see here. What do we got? Oh, they're taking on fucking joggers. They're already in the ring in the corner. I just noticed them. Oh, shit. This match might be over by 9. It's not even 9 yet, coming back from break. And they still got a couple more minutes, so... That's a sick-ass mask. Yeah, they're taking on fucking QT Marshall, if you will. There's the Huggers X. But yeah, Camarado getting stared down by Julia Hart, who is in all black. He does his best Scott Hall impression, and rather than a toothpick, after sucking off a lollipop, throws that in her face. And then the House of Black now attacking the factory. So, hell, are we even going to get a match with this or not? Yeah, she sprayed mist in his face. There's a big boot ringside. Yeah, Cole Carter's the other guy. That's right. We got QT, Cole, Camarado, and then Solo. Not Sikoa, but... There's some damage control into the barricade by Brody. And then a botch on the fucking table. Good God. I am the table. Now the bell officially rings. Malachi, in the meantime, has been sitting in the corner by himself the whole entire time. And House of Black chant from the crowd. And he's, along with Buddy and Brody, cornering QT. As he'll rip off his shirt, but then a simple black mass. And then a cover. 1, 2, 3. And that's that. Alright. I don't think this was necessary, but I get the point. They make a statement, exactly. So, and they're seemingly pushing them to where they want them at, potentially as a trio, and potentially be the number 1 contender after this best of 7 with Death Triangle and the Elite. They might be, coming after the Elite once they re-win those titles next month. As now we've got Shida and Jamie Hayter, who somehow, someway won the women's title at Full Gear. Have they done anything with her since? I think we all know the answer there, and it's a 2-letter NO. Response, so no, they haven't. But leave it at that. They're gonna have a rematch potentially. Hayter hits hard. Well, she hasn't hit jack shit the past fucking year and a half. Whether she's been champ or not, and there's Renee with an interview now with Punxsutawney Phil's favorite wrestler and Britt Baker. There's Reba, Rebel as well. And then somebody walks up. Sky High for Sky Blue. She looks like the two, and one of the two is the new NXT Women's Champ, but then there's another one that also has the same look. Drawing a blank on the names because I don't watch NXT anymore. So if anybody does in fact know, let me know in the comments below. Alright, we got a women's match now on Rampage with Britt Baker. So they're filling out Rampage's card. Here comes Jericho. His match against a to-be-determined opponent next. As we'll sing along to Judas. As winter is in fact coming. And cold like December snow. Who's he facing? This is the 9 o'clock hour. We're into it. Second hour of the final 60 of Dynamite tonight. But currently the Ocho, Chris Jericho, had a ton of different personas through the years, has been able to reinvent himself like no tomorrow. And what has he become? Well, now a former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Who's he facing tonight is the question. Like I said, I figured, yeah, okay, bigger surprise of the two unknown matches or unknown opponents would be this. They give House of Black a jobber in the factory. And it looks like Jericho's also getting a jobber as well. It looks like there's somebody over in the ring in the corner. Just can't tell who it is. Oh, God. Are you fucking kidding me? You can't get somebody to be the actual Judas in his mind, if you will? That's not the Ocho Chris Jericho. They show off the damn graphic for Jericho again for his opponent. I think they said his name's Action Andretti as Jericho flips off the crowd. I mean, might make sure he has a full tank of gas so he can get to the finish line. Because, I mean, yeah, the Andrettis are good on the track, but in the ring against Jericho, I don't think so. So bell rings, match underway. They're slapping each other. This ain't Jericho's son, is it? Yeah, they go, as mentioned, February 1st, Dayton, Ohio. The 8th to the 15th. Which that should be the, I'm a month early. As they get to St. Patrick's Day Slam now. Yes, they'll be heading back up to Canada. Which should be a big night for Jericho and Omega. They'll be in Winnipeg right after Revolution. Drawing a blank. Okay, yeah, they're in Dallas tonight, San Antonio next week, Denver. Let's go jobber chant from the crowd. He chops Jericho back. And then Jericho with a big kick. Boos from the crowd. Yeah, so from December to March, AEW, nowhere in my ears, so not going to be going. Have attended a few other events recently, and we'll be attending some more soon, so be sure to check out those videos and keep an eye out for more. Be sure to subscribe as always. But yeah, Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, Denver, and you get a Winter is Coming, a Holiday Bash, along with the New Year's Smash TV special, more chops from Jericho. That Seattle show should be interesting, especially for Brian. But then also Wrestle Kingdom. We'll see what they do there. And then LA. They get a Rampage taping out west somewhere, if I'm not mistaken, too. We'll see if the Dems are intense in that very city or not. But Off the Ropes, and then a cover, 1, 2, and a kick out. Yeah, Seattle. That's all off the top of my head. I'm not looking at anything. If anybody's wondering, I'm just trying to think. Because they show off a couple of them at a time, and then just knowing, myself with a photographic memory, looking ahead as the crowd continues to chant, "Let's go, jobber." So who the hell is this dude? I said, this ain't Chris Jericho's son, is it? He doesn't have a kid this old. Or does he? As he kicks out. That'd be something, if so. Match going to continue. They're going to go into break. Jericho stunned that he kicked out. As the crowd continues to chant, "Let's go, jobber," and cheering him on. But okay, from January on, it's Seattle, LA, Fresno, at Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. Home of the Cats. And then, February 1st, Dayton, Ohio. Where the hell are they the 8th? because the 15th now they're in Laredo. The 22nd they're in Phoenix. They must hate Albuquerque, New Mexico. I can guarantee you that, because they had a show for them before COVID, and then it got canceled, and they still haven't made it up yet. They've made up, for the most part, everything else. They haven't gone back to, well, they will be going back to Denver in a couple weeks. They haven't gone back to Salt Lake City. Of course, All Out's always in Chicago. Double or Nothing's always in Vegas. They've stayed on the East Coast a bunch, of course, with Jacksonville, and then in the Northeast Mid-Atlantic region, even the Midwest for that matter, and they love Texas as well. I mean, whatever sells, whatever draws, they're going to go back. I'm just trying to blank. Where the hell are they the one day? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. No, so I don't care. I ain't going to be there. I'll be watching it, so we'll find out then. And then they hit San Fran, hit the Bay Area for Revolution weekend. And then move on from there. So this match continues, I might add. Split screen commercial. Chris Jericho in action against Marco Andretti's long lost great grandson. And the crowd's behind him. Let's go, Jobber. Watch them have Jericho lose. Watch them have Jericho get rolled up real quick. 1, 2, 3. And if not, of course, he's going to win, and the crowd's going to boo him. He'll probably say something. Somebody might come out. Go from there. So he punches him in the back. Aubrey Edwards, your official referee for this match as well. She's got gloves on, so somebody's busted open. Yeah, Jericho is his right elbow. And somehow he's still in the match as he gets kneed in the back of the head. The crowd's chanting, "Oh, let's go, Jobber." Jesus Christ. They'll chant fucking anything, won't they? More chops into the corner. You know what? If Jericho loses, Andretti picks up the win, crowd's chanting something else now. I can't make it out. More chops. He's fighting back. Oh, he gets poked in the eyes. And then an elbow, more of a forearm. And then Jericho, hey, what are you saying now? Doing his best Hogan. This crowd's hot for this match. It's probably the hottest they've been all fucking night. Let's go, Jobber. Couple clotheslines. But if he picks up the win over Jericho, I could probably guarantee you, as there's a back and a neck breaker, he's probably going to be feeling oozy with the win. But like I said, don't be surprised if Jericho loses this and then he's all pissed off. Give this kid his due. Jericho gets the knees up in the meantime as he came off the top rope, so reversal there, and he's going to hit the Judas effect here. Here comes an elbow, probably. Yep, there it is, but he misses. And then a quick roll-up cover. 1, 2. Jericho kicks out. Oh, that was close. Slow count, but that was still close. There's a kick off the rope. But then, like I said, if he'd win, close on over the top rope now. And then off the ring apron, off top rope. A high flyer taking out Jericho. Takes a couple bows. Holy shit chant now from the crowd. Jericho's probably going to reverse this in midair. Hit him with a caught him. He's going to put him in the walls. Yeah. That might be it. But I was going to say, if he'd win, or there's a quick roll, maybe he will win. Cover, 1, 2. Oh, Jericho kicks out again. Jericho gets drop kicked, and then a kip up. Sort of looks like Will Ospreay if Ospreay had shorter hair. And I get he, sort of has short hair to begin with, but if it was shorter than the short hair he has now. Cover of the moonsault. 3. Holy shit. Jericho. Hey. Yeah, and they're in shock. They said, don't be surprised Jericho loses. And he does. And he's in shock. This Andretti dude just beat Jericho. I think that might be his son. I do. I'm not 100% on that, but at the same point in time, it could be fucking wrong. Action Andretti. They do show off the graphic for that. Now, that's a big win over Jericho. As I said, don't be surprised he wins. Jericho loses. But then Jericho would win, okay, they boo him out of the building. Somebody comes out because he gets on the mic and talks shit. But he loses. He still might get on the mic and talk shit after the loss, but he's in shock. And Andretti with the win. So, good match. A damn good match. Now, this dude, of course, could be, from some other company that had some other name there that I have no idea who the hell this dude is. If anybody has any info on Action Andretti, let me know in the comments below. I probably do some research here and figure it out myself as well. When I get time, I will. But you deserve it for the win, and then probably to Jericho for the loss. And now Ricky Starks cutting a promo backstage. Who is this Action Andretti? It has to be a name they came up with on the spot. But maybe not. He's got a Twitter page, but who the hell doesn't? I guess he's had some matches in AEW before. He was on a Dark Elevation in the past. Let's see what we got here. Action Andretti with the win over Chris Jericho. Has he faced anybody else name-worthy before? Rich Swann. Seemingly it. Well, Private Party, I might add. Yeah, he's been in AEW before, I guess. Wrestled on some Dark Elevation tapings about a year ago, come January, and then also this past October, it looks like. And then he, I guess made a name for himself in CZW and GCW. So there's that. Everybody's going to know who he is after that one for sure. But Jericho had saying that for sure. Like, hey, I just lost. He loses again. Like, let me go on a losing streak here. I wouldn't say as bad as Kurt Hawkins by any means. Or, say losing seasons for this sport franchise. Or, just however you want to put it, just odds are stacked against you. You can't catch a break. You're down in your luck. Something to recent wrestling to what they did with Corbin. Turning him into a bum, and then he wins all the money, and then, he's happy, and so on and so forth from there. Thing is, Jericho with Fozzy, they'll have dates. And, they just had some, too, but, a rock band's a rock band. And tours are tours. So, I mean, Jericho could also be taking some time off here for all we know, too. It seems like, though, they're just going to have him lose and lose and lose. And he has saying, hey, this is what we should do. Because, he hasn't done anything like this recently. Because he's been on the top of his game for a while. So let's do something different and, switch it up a little bit. We'll see. But yeah. Andretti with the win over Jericho on Dynamite. Still to come, as winter is coming to a close for the show, but, just going to be starting as well. Technically doesn't start until next week, but winter's already hit in some places weather-wise the past couple of months, and will continue until spring rolls around. Just in the meantime, thanks for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Coin and Luke 96. Sure, like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Link to the description below, thumbs up button. Share hashtag AEW, hashtag AEW Dynamite, hashtag winter is coming. Chat questions and comments, super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated. So, seemingly just the women's singles match. Probably something else backstage. Probably promote Rampage. And then the main event, which will be a winner-take-all matchup between MJF and Ricky Starks for both the AEW World Heavyweight Championship and the AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring. And like I said, storyline with that, have it come together. It does make sense. Even though I didn't think Starks was going to win last week, he did. They do this tonight, but then you move forward. Yeah, MJF with Ethan Page, Wardlow, and then can't forget about Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson. Gonna seemingly get payback on MJF for what he did to William Regal, basically. So, no, but as they'll give us a FTR interview. Of course, they lost the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships at Final Battle last week to the Briscoes. And then the Gun Club, the Ass Boys, they're trying to get him over, but it's honestly not working. But they do get heel heat. I mean, that's what they wanted. But it's like, yeah, they're Billy Gunn's kids, nicknamed, the Ass Boys by Dan Housen and a few others, because, of course, Billy Gunn was Mr. Ass. But it seems like, okay, they'll have FTR and the Ass Boys and tag team match them sometime soon. Yeah, got our attention now. And now Jericho backstage throwing a temper tantrum. Just, hey, put the cone on your fucking head again, dude. Come on. Throws the ladder as he hits the steel chair on a few things. And now going to go into his own locker room. So he's pissed off to a T. Yeah, Jericho gonna go crazy on us, it seems like. Still to come, yeah, the main event, MJF and Ricky Starks. But no, as Starks warms up, MJF will win as he's getting massaged. Alright. Probably tweeting something right now on his phone for all we know. But telling people how it is. We'll get more into that matchup a little later on. Probably get up into this that matchup as well during this matchup with Ruby and Tay. I mean, shit. Talk about something that needs to end. They've been having these two feud for quite a while now too. And here she comes. There's Sammy. and they'll make out on the top of the entrance ramp. I'm sure she has a subscription service you could sign up for, just like she tells some fans to kiss it. I think we'd all like to do a little bit more than that, but that's neither here nor there, so I'll digress. I'll shut that up before I get myself in trouble as she gets into the ring. But yeah, of course, earlier today the news broke: women's division in WWE and NXT after Mandy Rose lost the NXT Women's Championship last night. Thought, okay, she's coming back up to the main roster, take a time off with an injury, or what the hell's going on? And Ruby is blank with the last name. She should win this. Tay will throw a fit when she loses, too. Looks like hazmat suit. Bryce Rumsford, the official referee. As Tay kicks her even before the match begins, so they're going to fight ringside. So we got a cat fight on Dynamite. There's hazmat suit. No, but then Mandy had her OnlyFans fan time or whatever the hell it was called. Pictures and videos leaked, and reportedly was making more money off of that than she was with the company, with her contract that's now no good because they fired her ass. So, I mean, good for her. I mean, she's making that fucking money doing that. I mean, by all means. But, you know, they fired her because, you know, third party at least reasoning, they don't want you doing it. So yeah, we'll see if, you know, she winds up back in the company in due time or elsewhere, if she ever wrestles again for that matter. You know, she came onto the scene in 15 with Tough Enough along with Sonya. I'm sure they're both sitting back, at least she is, right now, eating a bunch of her donuts and not giving a shit, to be honest with you. Here's my suplexes. This match officially begins now. Bell rings, match underway. Ruby in control of Tay. But there's a cover, 1, 2, and a kick out. Alright. But yeah, so that's that situation. But yeah, like I said, good for her. That's what she wants to do, so be it. I can't blame her if she's making more money doing that than she was actually as the 400-plus day NXT Women's Champion, for God's sakes. Who knows how long they knew about it. And then the shit was leaked. And, you know, end of that. But yeah, that was the big news story in wrestling today, Mandy Rose. And then, of course, just tie that in with this women's match on Dynamite right now with Ruby and Tay. So, a fight on the ramp. And there's a DDT. Ruby in green, Tay in red. So as we gear up for the holidays, they'll take a split screen commercial, but ho 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 with Ruby and Tay. See, they'll finish up with this matchup in a minute. They'll probably promote something for Dynamite next week, because they always do. A couple of matches announced for Rampage throughout the evening. with Moxley and Britt Baker in action. And then we'll get to the main event. But, of course, they still run Dark and Dark Elevation. Got a few, current injuries. Some of the feuds right now, note about as always for anything could be 10 times better. Hopefully they don't really take anything too far from now until Revolution. Like I said, you got a lot of TV specials. Winter's coming tonight. Holiday Bash next week. You got New Year's Smash. There'll be a time difference from when Wrestle Kingdom starts, middle of the night here, probably about 3 a.m. on the East Coast, on January the 4th. And then they'll have a show that night, I might add, for Dynamite. And then the LA show, and then they still got 2 months in between, from then until Revolution. But like I said, they'll probably have a beach break, as they always have, and maybe something else. But, I mean, like I said, for MJF and Wardlow, maybe even Bryan Danielson, from now until Revolution or Double or Nothing, of course, Ricky Starks tonight. I think Ethan Page is involved in this as well with the firm. And then you get into Wardlow, Bryan Danielson at some point in time, whether that's now or later, who knows. But long story short with everything I'm saying, I just hope there's nothing really... I mean, I like long-term booking, I do. But from now until early March, unless it's something that is absolutely going to sell, with the trios, you're going to get by right now with the best of 7, and then seemingly the House of Black's next in line. The tag team division could, be given a boost with the Acclaimed. I mean, they're having Jeff Jarrett and, no offense, Jay Lethal. Well, and Jeff Jarrett for that matter, but you got to feel bad for him. Lethal should be doing so much more than they have had him, do. Injuries as well. I said Adam Cole's still out, as is Andrade. Of course, CM Punk. Who the hell knows what's going to happen with that long term? Remember Jeff Hardy's still with the company, and Matt really hasn't done anything, since he was suspended. They let Bobby Fish go. Cole gets hurt. O'Reilly's hurt too. So the three of them, whether they're there or not, they're not doing anything anymore. Who else is there? They actually just suspended Roosh the other day, I might add, as well. And that's just for men. Jade Cargill, no doubt about it. Other than Britt Baker, has been their best, and she is undefeated, yes. She doesn't do a hell of a lot, but is their best 1A, 1B, 1, 2, 3, however you want to put it, best women's champion they've had from the start. Chris Statlander can't catch a break with injuries. Thunder Rosa, she's hurt, which that got us to the point where we were with Toni Storm, to the Fatal 4-Way, and then, Jamie Hayter now. But just, once again, long story short, unless there's something that really sells, really that, we're going to, hopefully buy into that at that point. From now until Revolution, I don't really think there's anything that, needs to be that long, like, especially with as much time as you have on TV to kill, from now until then, especially all the TV specials, I mean, you can have a couple rematches, yeah, but just looking ahead, trying to not necessarily preview it or predict, just pinpoint potentially, which is, yeah, a preview or prediction to an extent. I get that, but There's a cover 1, 2, and a 3. So Ruby with the win over Tay on Dynamite here tonight. Main event coming up next. But yeah, there's nothing really just looking forward. Seems like it, could go the distance, so to speak. That would make sense. I could be wrong. Think I am. Let me know in the comments below. But they're not necessarily in a tough spot, and they have some talent that are healthy as can be, but they're not doing anything with it. And that's why I get somebody said, yeah, okay, Ring of Honor now, I'm gonna have TV. They still got 2 hours to kill on Dynamite, an hour on Rampage, and nobody watches. And then they say, okay, we're gonna have people on there that will draw, and then it still doesn't draw, and it's like they still definitely got to figure something out with that. And then now they got Ring of Honor for who knows how long that's going to be, time wise, probably an hour I'd have to think. But then they filmed Dark Elevation. Just seems like they just want everybody, and I can understand that to a point, but if it's not working out, it's not working out. Hangman getting interviewed as he gets checked out by the doctor. There's Evil Uno as well. But, of course, coming back from concussion, going up against Mox. I'll give you the status update. Yeah, he had a concussion real bad. Returned recently, and now he's up against Mox. And Mox had a couple good things to say to him when he did return, like along the lines of like, do you remember that? Making fun of his concussion, so to speak. Like, I beat your ass then, I'll beat your ass again. Or did you forget that? What's his name? What's his name is what Hangman is asking. Oh, he didn't know his son's name. So he's bringing real life with this concussion into the storyline now with Mox. Alright. There's that. Rampage. You got Moxley and Guevara this Friday. Be taped tonight. Spoilers will be out. Got Sky Blue and Britt Baker as well. And then Wardlow's going to be in action. Oh, big whoop. There's Danhausen. As Goldust, Dustin Rhodes. With the All-Atlantic champ and Orange Cassidy and best friends. With the spooky boy. Goldust calls Danhausen the spooky boy. Hands in, and then a little claw. 8-man tag with Orange Cassidy, best friends, and Dustin Rhodes against Butcher and the Blade and Company, Jamie Hayter and Sheeta next week, FTR and the Guns as well. What else we got? Is that it? Yeah, match 5 with no DQ with the best of 7 trios titles. Death Triangle and the Elite. And then they'll have 2 more afterwards, but up next be MJF and Ricky Starks for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Alright. Yeah, MJF will win. He'll retain his title. He'll win back the Dynamite Diamond Ring that he has won 3 straight years up until now, but didn't need to win it because he was already world champion by that point in time just recently. But then that's what I'm saying. With this match tonight, it makes sense. You add it in, it cancels itself out basically, because it makes sense. With Starks winning, challenge for the title, and then you have it winner take all. MJF wins it back, and 4 straight years he wins the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and then he is still your world champion after this evening. Does Ethan Page potentially, along with Well, it won't be Wardlow because he's in action on Rampage this week. Eye roll. Or does Bryan Danielson come out to close the show? They're teasing that because, him going to get payback for what he did to Regal. They wrote him off of TV because he was leaving the company, going back to WWE. But the attack, the ambulance, even with what he had said that was pre-recorded on Dynamite last week, okay, there's that too. But MJF's first couple challengers after defeating Moxley, it's Ricky Starks, seemingly Bryan Danielson in time. I still think Ethan Page is in that mix because it makes sense with the firm. But then you got Big Bill, Big Cass, and Little Bill Stokely Hathaway. And then, okay, Wardlow. You circle back around to MJF and Wardlow before he'd won the title and all their history they've had. And then if Punk would return, you can go back to that. Like, MJF should be champion for a good solid year at least. Into early 2024, even into the mid, if you will, part of the year. Even up until later in the year, come election time, because that's where they're getting this, battle for 2024 from, sort of, it seems like, because he's been teasing it now for a couple years, for God's sakes, for when his contract's going to be coming up and such. So because honestly, other than you finally put the title on MJF, their golden child, their biggest homegrown talent since day one of All Elite Wrestling. With MJF as champion right now, there are a few that could dethrone him. But, moving forward long term, making it make sense might be a little difficult. Minus a few. But that's what, who are you going to have beat MJF? That's what I'm saying. You have MJF going at least year and a half, 2 year run at this point. You do. Have him be AEW's big dog, if you will. So, AEW World Heavyweight Championship match coming up next. And here comes Ricky Starks, who I've never really understood. I don't really like him. I can't understand why some other people like him, but myself personally, they said he's better than Sammy Guevara by far. But he's going to be giving up his Dynamite Diamond Ring here tonight because it's winner take all, and MJF's going to win and retain his title and get that ring back. There's a whoop that maxi pad sign in the crowd. Oh my. Go from scissoring each other to talking about pads and now the world champ, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, salt of the earth, kisses his Dynamite Diamond Ring. He'll be getting this year's as well. He'll have one full ring with his title, the Triple B, as he calls it. But Justin Roberts going to give us an intro here in a minute, and we'll get the show on the road. Probably get a split screen commercial and a full break, I'd have to think. About a 20-minute match. And then, be done by 10 o'clock. And then we'll sign off. And just as always, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. And yes, for myself, watching AEW Dynamite tonight for Winter is Coming, I am, in fact, missing the season finale of Survivor tonight, but get to that afterwards. What's so absolute about him? He flips off MJF. MJF will take off his jacket and his scarf. Falls to his knees and kisses the crowd and grabs the title and puts it in Starks' face. Says, come and get it. Yeah, Shivani hates MJF. At least he does on commentary. He does a good job at it. So the ref, rather than just holding up the title, side to side, he holds it up vertically in one arm and then does a fist like he just won the fucking title in the other, but he has the Dynamite diamond on his finger, though. So this is a winner-take-all for both the title and the ring with MJF and Ricky Starks. So bell rings, match underway, here we go. As they stare each other down face to face. I'm going to beat the shit out of you, says MJF. Kansas City, late March. And then they'll be back to the East Coast, Long Island, New York, early April. So they're going out west before WWE is with WrestleMania. And then they'll come back east when WWE's out there for WrestleMania. All right. So yeah, a couple more dates there to the list. Oh, they're in El Paso on the 8th. That's right. Okay, so they go from... of course, I have a few dates still at the end of March, early April. Haven't seen AEW since Fallout, Dynamite, from All Out, early September. The last AEW show was at. Which there was a buzz that night for sure, because nobody knew what the hell was going to happen coming off of that show. Okay, so Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, Denver. Seattle, there's a Portland Rampage taping that I referenced earlier. And then LA, Fresno, they come back to Lexington, Kentucky, Dayton, Ohio, and then El Paso, Texas, Laredo, Texas. They absolutely hate Albuquerque, New Mexico for whatever fucking reason. Phoenix, and then San Fran for, what was that? Yeah, Revolution. Duh. Yeah, their four main pay-per-views are Revolution, Double or Nothing, along with All Out in Full Gear, and then as Winter is Coming, and the New Year's Smash coming up in a couple weeks are their two final TV specials of the calendar year. Have been the past couple years. I mean, Winter is Coming is winter time, New Year's Smash around New Year's, so it makes sense. Holiday Bash as well next week. They have a beach break. They have a St. Patrick's Day Slam show. If they could have a 420 show, I'm sure there'd be some people down for that. Matt Riddle would probably show up if he'd get fired next. Quick roll-up, kick out at 2. No, but they have their Dynamites and Rampages. They've really got to figure out Rampage, though. I was at the first ever Rampage, but they got to figure that show out. They do. It's tough with how social media is nowadays and spoilers. Everybody knows, and then nobody watches. I watch it. I normally don't watch it live. I'll tape it, DVR it. Watch it later. But I will watch it live if I'm watching SmackDown live. Friday nights at 8. Friday Night SmackDown. and then I'll watch Rampage right afterwards. But if I'm not watching SmackDown, I ain't watching Rampage not until later. Same thing with Raw, and I don't watch NXT anymore, let alone AEW for that matter, too, for Dynamite. But, so MJF in control here of Starks, has him wrapped up in the middle of the ring. But, yeah, Revolution will be the next pay-per-view. And so they got time to kill in between. I don't think it's going to drag as much as for WWE in between Survivor Series or Rumble by any means. You know, AEW has these big TV specials. You know, put some big shows, matches on the big shows. You know, WWE to do the same potentially. You know, with Raws and SmackDowns, buy in to watch this and that. We'll see how spiffed up Sammy's going to look on SmackDown Friday night, and if the Bloodline's going to turn on him or not. You know, I hate to compare because it's all supposed to be different. You know, it's its own thing. But I guess there's got to be something to talk about. But yeah, they got a couple TV specials here, and then Revolution pay-per-view early March. So those shows, those cities I'll have the shows in are those, as mentioned, from now until March. Austin, Dallas, San Antonio next week. Denver once again for New Year's Smash. I'll have live watch-along reactions over on YouTube then, so we can tune back in. And then Seattle, LA, Fresno, Kentucky, Ohio, back to Texas for a couple weeks, the desert, and then San Fran for the whole weekend. And then after that, they'll sort of stay out west, come back east a little bit. Sacramento, Winnipeg, which isn't that on a different day than Wednesday because of basketball or something like that? I believe so. And then what's after that? They announced Kansas City and then Long Island, but that was early April for the latter of those two shows. So they still got a couple more dates to fill. Let me look at a calendar here real quick. Make sure the dates are right. They just need, honestly, March 29th now. Yeah. Because Revolution's March 5th. They have that banner up in the corner, by the way, tonight. I mean, they sort of have had that for the pay-per-views upcoming, for quite a while now. Sort of their WrestleMania sign for Mania season. As we get a Rampage commercial during the split screen break, 10 minutes to go. Probably go home here in a minute. Back to the action. MJF, Ricky Starks for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship and the Dynamite Diamond ring. But yeah, Sacramento, March 8th. Winnipeg's the following week. And then they announced Kansas City, but nothing for the 29th. And then Long Island for the 5th. So, I mean, they got to get from Kansas City to Long Island somewhere in between. Maybe that's my AEW return, potentially, or I think sometime afterwards. Before they then head back out west again for, Double or Nothing Memorial Day weekend. So we'll have, 2 months to fill there. They're starting to hit more cities. People are actually, first time able to go. I don't like to brag, but I have been to a few. So be sure to go check out those videos. And thank you once again for tuning in and listening. But both men down. MJF's going to win, but how's he going to win is the question. Are we going to get some sort of distraction? He doesn't really have anybody to potentially, join him or align themselves with him, sort of like Regal did, the brass knuckles. I mean, they could do something like that, but who's it going to be then? Or does MJF just use the ring and win that way? If he loses the fucking world title to Ricky Starks, there's a fucking problem. Give him a fucking 3-4 week run. After building him up, no. That's why I said it makes sense then to put the Dynamite Diamond on the ring as well. And have MJF then win both. So it's been a pretty good show. I mean, 2 hours have flown by. Just talking about this, talking about that. There's a power bomb, and then a kick out. Ooh, that was very close. 2 3/4. One, two, and he clearly almost hit. That would have been a botch by MJF. He doesn't kick out of that. Ref putting on gloves so somebody's busted open. Where's Gabby at? MJF eyeing up Starks, steps on the back of his left arm. The labrum area. Tricep. Pedigree for Starks? No. Off the ropes, quick roll up. 1, 2, and they roll through on the roll up. 1, 2, and then a kick out. And then MJF off the ropes, picks him up, power bombs him on one knee, cover a 1, 2, kick out at 2.5. Yeah, so it's not as MJF winning, because he is. He's going to retain. He's going to win the Dynamite Diamond ring back, but how's he winning? So we'll see here. But they're both down and out again, so first defeat. They both barely made the 5 and 10 count there a minute ago. But then both roll back up. Here's the go home. They got about 5 minutes. Unless they're giving an overrun tonight, which I highly doubt it. Crowd's chanting something. Can't make it out. MJF kicking Starks. Now he's just slapping him around. And now Stark's slapping him back. Lots of punches. There's a kick. Double clothesline potentially off the ropes. No. Big boot from Starks. MJF. There's a punch. And then a spear from Starks off the ropes. Alright, so they're both down and out again. Something's got to give here. 1 count to make it 2. Stand up. 3. 4. They're both going to barely make 10. 5. 6. 7. Yeah, Starks is starting to move around a little bit. MJF just laying there. 9, and then a cover 1, 2, and then MJF kicks out. And then MJF reverses it, has him in a left arm bar. And Stark's trying to grab for that bottom rope, but he's going to tap out here in a minute. MJF now going to drag him back into the middle of the ring a little bit. Has his left arm wrapped up. Still going to try to grab that bottom rope, but then MJF reverses that. And then there's another rope break. Oh shit, MJF's going to have him literally, well, there's a rope break. Finally with the, he had both hands, both arms, the one foot wrapped up. Literally had him in a pretzel. And Starks with the only thing left is the other foot, gets rope break. And then now going right back to the left arm with an arm bar. Then Starks rolls him 1, 2, and a kick out. Couple takedowns. And then Starks rolls it over, cover 1, 2, and then MJF slipped it, but 1, 2 again until he does get to his feet, and then power bombs him. No, Starks reverses super kick. Starks powerbomb, no, MJF almost landed on his head. They had to do the bridge twice to get to this point. And then MJF grabs the ref. And then MJF with a low blow. Ref wasn't paying any attention. 1, 2, 3. MJF, your winner, retains his world championship and gets back his Dynamite Diamond ring. Yep. Just didn't know how he was going to do it. But that's how he did it. Low blow when the ref wasn't paying any attention. So, is anybody coming out to end the show is the question. As he kisses the title. His Triple B belt. As he puts the ring back on you, MJF, 4 years running as your Dynamite Diamond ring winner. Didn't win the Battle Royal, but he won it, winner take all match here tonight. And then he, of course, still retains his championship. So, as he backpedals up the ramp, will turn and walk. But now here comes Bryan Danielson. Yep. Yes chance from the crowd. And MJF backing away. Bryan coming for revenge in favor of William Regal as now he chases him down the ramp, around the ring, and into the crowd. And now up the steps, but MJF hightails it out. As JR would say, like the scalded dog he is. Bryan up on the top turnbuckle. MJF shows off the title. He's up on the concourse. Bryan going to check in on Ricky Starks. But yeah, Bryan Danielson comes out to MJF. And Dynamite tonight, winner is coming. And there's your next feud. MJF, Bryan Danielson for the World Heavyweight Championship. Maybe, like I said earlier, even with MJF needing sort of, as they'll sign off, closing credits, that does it for Dynamite. As it's Wednesday, you know what that means. Just, as always, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, social media links in the description below. But he still needs, I think, go on a big title run. Doesn't need to lose. I mean, he could lose by, DQ, still win, still retain. But like I said, there might be a few people that could dethrone him. Bryan Danielson's very deserving of that, so I'd be fine with it. Wouldn't shock me one bit. Do they actually do it, though, is the question. So we'll see. But yeah, that does it. Pretty good show. But yeah, Bryan Danielson comes out to end it after MJF wins in the main event, retains his World Heavyweight Championship, and then wins back his Dynamite Diamond Ring. But next, it'll be MJF and Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, seemingly on AEW TV. So they do on Dynamite and Rampage, and you know what they do with their version of Ring of Honor now moving forward, and so on and so forth. But they'll have Holiday Bash next week. No live watch-along reactions of that. If anything, we'll recap what happened then in 2 weeks, because we'll tune in, and be sure to tune in for AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash live right here on YouTube as well. So I'll see everybody then, and then probably, honestly, for the LA show too. It's on a TV special, but you know, it's probably gonna be big. Didn't do the first one because, of course, Double or Nothing was just, you know, a few days prior, and we knew sort of what had happened and sort of where they were going to go, and then, you know, they got in the summer, and, you know, now we're here at the end of the year, and so on and so forth. But that show right now, honestly, we don't know who Paige's, Soraya's partner is going to be. That's the big question for that right now. I'm sure they'll add a bunch of other shit. That'll be the 7th match in the Best of 7 Trios Tag Team Title Series, as well as the Elite are now down 3-1. Match 5 next week, no DQ. So they'll have to win out, which they will. They'll make a big deal about it, and the Elite will win back the Trios titles that they were the first to win, but they never lost because they were stripped of those titles because they were suspended after All Out. And then they lose at Full Gear when they return. Now down 3-1 in this tournament. Best of 7 series they're doing. And they'll win them back a month from now. But then from there, yeah, I was saying earlier, we got a couple TV specials, but, you know, we're a couple months out from Revolution, but we'll get there when we get there. But, for MJF and the world title, at least, it's MJF and Bryan Danielson to start after Ricky Starks was his first challenger tonight. I still think Ethan Page is going to be involved one way or another, because he'd be the best candidate for the firm. And then, you know, come full circle with MJF and Wardlow, have them two go one-on-one for the world title in due time. And then that honestly gets you to at least next fall, if not a little longer, if you play your cards right. And then it circles back around to with what I said, and you honestly think about it, try to, you know, pinpoint it and space it out, plan it. You give MJF at least one full calendar year, let alone a year and a half, maybe a 2-year title run at this point. But we'll see what does, what happens, and what they do. But yeah, in the meantime, that'll do it for myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Go ahead and Luke 96. So once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. But so everybody, this weekend for more live watch-along reactions over on YouTube, and then also for wrestling in 2 weeks' time for AEW for New Year's Smash. And in the meantime, hopefully, if you don't tune back in, everyone has a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays if you're one of those people, which I'm not. But hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll see everybody when I see it. But meantime, once again, thanks for tuning in and listening, and that'll do it for AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming, as MJF is still, in fact, the World Heavyweight Champion, and now a 4-time Dynamite Diamond Ring winner. And now we'll have Bryan Danielson coming after his title, the Triple B, which Fickle was mentioned a few weeks back. And then to tie that in with Bryan's Fickle 2019 before Kofi Mania, and the special title that they had him use, the eco-friendly championship that he had at the time with Redbeard by his side. And then now MJF with the Triple B, and Fickle. But MJF's still better than you, and you know it, so I'll leave it at that. And he's still your AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And should be, moving forward, you'd have to think. But they said Bryan Danielson would be one of the few that could dethrone him, and I'd be okay with him beating MJF in that regard. I think a lot of other people, would be aware of that too, because of anybody with everything he's been through, and as good of a wrestler that he is, he'd be, no doubt about it, very well deserving of that challenge. So, yeah. It does it. Sure, like, follow and subscribe, social media links in the description below. And, yeah, as always, MJF's better than you, and you know it. He's still the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Ricky Starks tonight in the main event of Dynamite. Winter is coming.